Everybody, welcome to Roundtable 24. Um, it's going to be an interesting one. We didn't have a whole lot of people that were available to make it on this table, so we got somebody new to join the table as well, and we're with four people instead of like five or six or any crazy amount. Vin may be hopping in most likely like an hour and a half and just coming in with like an explosion. But if it happens,
I'm
it
so
happens.
happy I'm the afterthought. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I mean, I asked if you wanted to be on, and you said no, no, no. You're just here to roll eyes. So, thank you for joining in. But
Thanks for finally inviting me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I said anybody's. I have always said on the roundtable, if anybody's interested, to send me a DM, and I will get you set up in the podcast crew channel.
Yeah, but you don't
And
answer my DMs.
oh my god. Okay, good talk. Anyway, everybody, welcome to Roundtable 24. I'm gonna be your host too, Bob. 29. I'm from TNM, and we've got a couple people with us today. I have with me AJ Mad.
Hello, I'm from 1%. In-game name is AJ Matt.
I've got Goldie, who's new with us.
Hello, Goldies Gaming, otherwise known as GoldenGirl from KSMA Slayers.
And I've got Envy with me today.
Hello, SouthSideEnvy. Got my name stolen away from me, so now I'm Natalie 616585. If anybody'd like to get my name back, you can donate to my GoFundMe. And I'm from the newer ministry now.
I love you, Envy. I've missed you so much on these podcasts. uh, but everybody, welcome, welcome. So I kind of want to talk about a handful of things today, and we're going to be interacting with chat because that's kind of what we always do throughout everything. Where did you all finish the 2 week Hall of Fame event? With Ted, with Godfather, etc.
I came in thrilled. I got away with the Ted by the skin of my teeth.
Okay.
Didn't get the Godfather. Almost had the striker Ted, but came up 30 shards short.
That's not awful though. You'll get those whenever there's an NWO event, and we'll make sure you get those. That's gonna be cake whenever that comes up next, or it's gonna be like $20. That's not bad at all. That's awesome.
I really don't want another striker, but I always take a Ted.
Well, besides that, he's a good MP trainer at 5K.
Oh
He's
yeah.
really solid for a 5K MP trainer. So that's where mine is at, honestly. He's a great card, but 5K MP trainer. But what about I guess did you get anything else with any of the Hall of Fame cards or anything else from like that 2 week event that you want to take away from it besides just having Hall of Fame Ted?
I got that Big E gear. That
Okay,
was a hit.
solid. That's actually really solid
And
though.
I don't know where the general orders came from, but that was great too.
Think we got that from a faction event?
Yeah, that was for affection.
There
I
you
just
go.
got some random skill plate. It's awesome. I don't know where I got it. It just showed up.
Fell in my lap.
It's awesome, MP.
It's true. So, what about you two, AJ Goldie?
I ended up with Ted through shards, and I got Sarge from the prize wall for our faction finish.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Nice.
I grinded for Big E's last gear that I needed,
Nice.
and I was able to finally get Keith Lee from
Ooh,
the day that his shards were in
Nice.
there. So
that's a huge pickup.
Congrats.
yeah, Demon was able to get Keith Lee as well.
Nice. Oh, like he needs him.
He does.
I don't know about
Two
that one.
Hogans is not enough.
Exactly.
Gotta have Keith Lee too.
Exactly. See, you gotta have something that he doesn't have, though. Come on.
I do.
What
I
is it,
have Sid.
Yeah, Sid. I was gonna say. I was actually it
Yeah.
was hilarious. I was actually talking with somebody about your NWO show and Sid combo, and how
Hmm.
we like you and I were talking about it for like weeks and like months before you actually had it fully set up. But you're like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing this and maybe I should do that. And we talked about it forever and I'm like, yeah, you know what would be terrible is if you just set them up this way. And I just kept on feeding into this and the next thing I know it's like, oh great, there's AJ on Showdown. I'm glad that I don't have to fight that. What is it again? Oh, NWO show and Sid at 5-star silver. Great. Or bronze rather. Like great. Ugh, this is terrible. I'm like I don't ever want to have to deal with that. And the next thing I knew, I end up seeing you in feud. And of course I'm laned against you. I'm not like top lane and you're bottom lane. No, I'm laned against you and it's like shit. Please don't tell me shit. They're both in her lane. Fuck.
Get it, girl.
Like why?
That was
Like
a
this
fun feud, though.
like this was
For
supposed
you,
to be
apparently, not
this
him.
was this was supposed to be the whole setup of like, yeah, this would be terrible for anybody to have to go against. Not like let me set you up to the moon so you can screw me when I lane up against you. Like, no, this isn't what I signed up for. It's
You
terrible.
know, if there is a line bonus that makes Sid turn 1, he's gonna be in my lineup in feud.
It was so ugly. It was just so ugly. But that's a hell of a 2 week for you. Congratulations, AJ. That's awesome. Oh, Goldie, 2 weeker.
Well, my faction just kind of stood pat for the 2 week event. We kind of expected Hurt Business for Mania, and our leadership group are massive marks for the Hurt Business. So for the 2 weeker, we just said, do what you can do. You know, don't blow all your Blitz tickets unless you're chasing like Big E gear or something.
Right.
I didn't bother going after the Hall of Fame characters. I just kind of took what I could get. I'm now 75 shards away from Masters of the Universe Big E because of the vault. And that's my highlight.
So very, very
I'm
close
close.
to Big E. That's going to
Very
be a
close.
setup for sure the next time that they have a Motu event.
He's gonna be massive on my roster, my baby roster. It's
He's
gonna
a
be a
great
huge
trickster.
help.
He's a great.
Yeah.
Do you have the other gear?
I don't have any gears for him.
You don't have any of the gears? Okay.
No, but even just having the Masters of the Universe tag link
Yeah, it's a big deal.
will be huge. It'll open me up for some tours and stuff.
He's a great card. He doesn't
Yeah.
need any of the things like of the gear, etc. But obviously it would make him better.
Yeah, I mean, if you play him
but-
right, he doesn't really need it. It's just
Right.
icing it, right?
The thing is, what's crazy to me about that specific card is like normally when you have a great card and you try to get a gear on it, it doesn't really make them like that much better. That card is like the one exception where like his gears do make him better, but it
Yeah.
still isn't the end of the world if you don't have him because he's just so great as is.
Agreed.
It's nutty. Like there's not many cards like that out there. But I'm
Yeah.
a huge fan of that card, so I do wish you luck the next time there's a Motu event or whenever they do like some New Day type shit. Hopefully you
Fingers
can sneak
crossed,
out
because
100.
I'm hurting for a decent New Day card as well. I have Acro Kofi at 3-star gold, and that's my
Jeez.
go-to, and it's been killing me. So
I mean, look at
I
the bright
could-
side.
Wow.
I could use that.
Look at the bright side. Your Kofi's stronger than any of my current New Day cards, including my Motu Biggie.
Wow,
I'm sorry.
I'm just so honored by that. Wow, that makes me feel
Like
so much
not
better.
not honored. Just look at the bright side. You know, you got a stronger New Day card.
Whoop-de-doo.
You know, they made Big E just, he really is just nasty.
Yeah.
And he's a trickster, which also gives him dodge because he needed something else.
Yeah, because he needed that, right?
I actually fought my first one at 5 silver on this recent Showdown event. I was like,
Oh, it's not fun.
I'm feeling frisky. Let me see what the whole what all the fucking noise is about, right? Sure. Let's see
Was
what
it
the
black,
big deal
black,
is.
blue?
It was black, black, purple. And I was like, okay, this is I'll deal with this. Maybe I could get him down. I got like 800,000 health off him. He kicks out obviously. It's like, okay, great. Now he's starting his whole rotation. Okay, what's going to happen? All right, he did. Okay, and then he. Okay, okay. Is it okay? And then it just became that repeatedly. Just uh huh. I'm in danger already. One more time. Okay. Yep. No, you got to wind it back again. Yep. Yep.
Right.
I just kept watching. I'm like, this is still going. Like I didn't understand it. Like it was just a joke. I was like, this really
it's
is
just a
worse than
forced
Zombie
quit at
Austin.
that point.
It really is worse than Zombie Austin in my opinion. It's just like you keep watching just the beatdown consistently,
And Zombie
and
Triple H.
that one's awful. The Zombie Trips is awful because that is just nightmare fuel. Because he'll just take a 3 match, and they'll always have a skill plate on him where he gets the MP back, and then he just does it all over again, and you'll never. That was just awful.
Orton just stomps all over Zombie Triple H.
It's just terrible. I Orton I can deal with. At least I lose. You know.
And you lose kind of
You don't
fast.
get demoralized as well.
Right. Like at least that's what it is at the end of the day. Like, all right, I lost. All right, good deal. Move on. And not like, okay, I've lost. When is this over?
All right. Make way for Vin. He's coming.
Like the part two. Oh shit! All right, everybody.
Brace yourselves.
Brace yourselves.
Best behavior.
Oh, Vinny, how's it going?
You
Welcome to the
muted.
chat. Why'd you mute right away? Are you not? You have roundtable. I guess you came in muted. I don't know. Talk to me, Vinny.
I just didn't want to come in and speak while someone might have been talking, so I'll mute myself quickly.
No worries, buddy. We're talking about
That's
the
your first.
2-week Hall of Fame event. What'd you think about it? Where'd you end up? What'd you get? All that type of shit. All that hullabaloo.
So to be fair, I actually liked it to a certain extent. It wasn't bad. I didn't like how much you had to spend to sort of try and max each day. I think that was a bit ridiculous. But on a whole, it was an okay thing from them, even though it was a way for everyone to drain all the resources, which I thought sucked from their point of view. Do you know what I mean? It's like each day you would only get credit for one token. It was like, yeah, all right, mate. Pretty sure you wasted 9.
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah, so
they knew.
and then the other thing which someone brought up in one of our chats was fancy doing the faction event in multiples of 10s, even though the ticket's only 9. So you get to 99 and there's that one odd token.
Yeah.
For the 100th.
Yep.
So I think
who's gonna waste the 5-star silver evolve to hit that one? Yeah, it's the numbers are stupid.
Yeah, so it's like to a certain extent it was pretty cool, pretty decent of them to sort of give a bit of resources back and a few cards and stuff like that. But you know, if you're like me, you didn't benefit from nothing because I'm still waiting for my faction rewards.
Oh well, see, that's a different story.
Yeah. So I didn't get my $1 million man shards at all from the faction event, or the health packs, or the tokens, because obviously I came in a placement where I got 20 shards of Hollywood Hogan. So because it's saying, like, you know, collected 2 items at the same time, the game clearly can't cope with that. It crashed and I didn't get shards or health packs. Good old Scopely. But I got 100k back for the solo points this weekend that's just gone.
Yeah, it's
Fuck off.
It's a thing.
Yeah, well,
I ain't here to bitch about him. Everybody can bitch about him. But besides that, talk to me about your 2-weeker, Vin. Your 2-weeker. Focus on that instead of fuck Scopely. Everybody can fuck Scopely.
I made Striker. So basically, I made Striker Austin 5-star silver, just to sort of help in the faction event because we needed it at the time. I also done Keith Lee to 5-star silver during it as well, which then left me a little bit short for talent up, which means I had to spend to get the coins to get Drew, and he was the closest one to 5-star. So I took Drew McIntyre to 5-star silver in the talent up. But on a whole, I liked it. I think it was a good thing from them. You know, we had Showdown without perks.
What'd you end up getting? What did you end up getting out of all of it? You get Ted?
Just a few little tokens and $1 Million Man.
You did? Did you get Godfather?
No, I'm 200 shards short for Godfather.
Okay, and did you get any other characters throughout the month? Did you get any of the gears or anything like that? Like the Big E gear?
Are you pissed?
No, I'm fucking talking to you about what's going on. There was a whole Hall of Fame 2-week event. What did you
I
talk
mean, a
like?
Yeah,
simple no
and I
would
spent money
suffice so we
every
could
day,
move
and I didn't
on.
get jack diddly squat. It's like the only thing I've done is got a little bit closer to getting a few more people. That's about it.
Fair
It's like
enough.
I didn't even get Socko from the Godfather, from the Hall of Fame, because that
I
was
mean,
the only thing that was looking
if you were here on
fun, AJ.
time, you would know that somebody in this pod got something from this event, and it wasn't a waste of time for them.
No, it wasn't a waste of time for anyone. I personally don't think, because it's like, a little bit of grinding, doing a little bit of your normal daily stuff, and you got rewards for it. I think that was pretty decent of them. So I don't think it was a waste of time for anyone. I just think when you've got such a big roster and stuff like that, you've got a lot of characters, it's hard to get new people unless you're about to spend a fortune every time. I
Must
weren't
be
doing that. So all I was happy doing, I was happy buying the $20 shards for certain characters that I needed. And the only time I really spent was on the Socko event, or when the Socko one dropped. And basically, they changed their own pattern when it comes to Socko. So I was 10 shards short for Socko, which pissed me off a little bit. So I just thought, see what I mean? This is the logic behind it all. So it is what it is, though. It's me personally. I thought it was a success for them for a change. They made something a little bit fun without having like perks. So it was fun.
So for
I'm a
me,
big fan of the 24-hour. You only have 24 hours to get done whatever it is for the day.
you were or were
For
not a big fan?
every day throughout the entire week, my work schedule doesn't necessarily allow me to have time to do whatever the event is,
Right.
which is a real big bummer.
Yeah, that was the only real big downside to me is that the 24-hour time limit.
Yeah, I don't
when I-
mind the 24-hour time limit if the milestones aren't as high as they were.
Yeah, if it
Right?
was
If it was a little more
without
reasonable to get
spending or
done in a
anything,
day.
sure, yeah. If that
Yeah.
was what it was, and you didn't have to grind for
Fine.
hours and hours and hours in 24-hour period,
Right.
then yeah. Like for me
I'm okay
personally, I
with
stayed
that.
up until
Yeah.
like
No problem.
4-ish, like 4:30-ish in the morning doing the
Wanna
Big
come
E
back and
gear
show me your
grind.
pass?
So it was a roughie, but for me, I enjoyed the event. I enjoyed the 2-weeker. I ended up getting Ted from it. I did not get Godfather from it. AJ,
Yeah.
AJ, can you?
Sorry.
It's okay, thank
Yep.
you. I did get Ted. I didn't get Godfather from it. I'm about like 300 or 400 ish short from Godfather, but I don't really have any intent to get the shards or pull for him. I don't really care all that much for the card as a whole. It's a very easily counterable card. Um, so I don't really have any crazy incentive for that. Ted with the gears is pretty cool and a lot better with the gears than without the gears. But again, I'm not going to pull for the gears now that I just have the card. I don't really see any crazy incentive to have to do that. I did get the gear for Trickster Big E, that whole grind until like 4-ish, 5-ish in the morning, even though I worked the next day at 9 a.m. It was a roughie, but got it done. And yeah, the fun part for me was no perks. That was by far the most fun
Best
part
part.
for me.
Best part.
Having no PvP perks for me specifically is the best part of the game. If tour perks and blitz perks were the only perks that existed, for me, perfect game. Like perfect game. No have to worry about PvP bullshit. Don't got to worry about showdown minus perks. Don't got to worry about feud plus and minus and spending 8 million coins on me doing plus perks and you doing minus perks so that we both even out after the both of us have spent somewhere around 15 million coins combined. What the hell's the point? Why do we need to spend 15 million coins against each other to compete in a PvP environment when we could just say, fuck it, no perks, don't have to spend 15 million coins, we can spend 15 million coins on our cards and see if we could actually compete with each other with better cards.
Totally agree.
So that's been my thing for forever.
I had been wanting a perkless feud for a long time, so I was very happy about that.
Oh yeah.
I'd be fine with that going forward.
You know, I used to want a perkless feud. And then we had one, and I realized, hey, I don't have any of those top tier, low charge guys that just obliterate everybody on turn one without perks. I want my perks back.
I mean, I don't either, and I still really enjoyed it, to be honest. I didn't have, I didn't really benefit a whole lot from the line bonuses. I couldn't get that top one. Didn't have ideal characters for the middle or the bottom row, but I still, thoroughly enjoyed, not getting turn one killed every single time.
I mean, the thing is, a lot of people
I
have Hall
think
of
the
Fame
line
Piper,
bonuses
and Piper was turn
can.
one in that feud.
For some people.
Well, no, he was turn one with Steel. That's a 5 MP move. It's
Your
a
Piper
5.
was doing work for me.
Yeah, Piper was who Cable was using the whole time with his turn 1 5 MP move. He did his 5 MP green move, and then did, I think it was Woods also. I think he ran double MP. That way, when the green move laid out purple gems, it fully charged his submission, so that he was getting the submission on turn 1 with his Piper. But everybody has Hall of Fame Piper from that monthly. And again, it's not like
mine's 4-star bronze. He's not gonna one turn anybody.
no, not you might not
That's
win
what I
on
mean.
turn
Like, I
one,
didn't
but you
have
might get this.
ideals
No,
set
but
up.
you might get the sub off on turn 1 instead of the win off on turn 1. It's just to counter the turn 1 characters. But the point is that people have something that would be relatively viable for it.
I ran MP steals.
Yeah, that works too.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. See, like DJ said, turn 1 subs are as good as perks. You can drain somebody's MP from preventing them from being turn 1. But that's what I was thinking about doing too, was putting my own Piper there, but he was very high leveled and I didn't want to necessarily bump up that much.
You got the cheat code for you, Bob, anyway, so stop owning it.
Well, yeah, that's besides the point. I do have a disgusting cheat code for feud because I grinded for that motherfucker. But it was worth it. And I
should have stayed awake.
I'm sorry, Envy. I'm sorry.
I should have stayed awake.
It's such a great card. I have no regrets staying up for that specific card. And the only thing that I'm annoyed with is the last like 15 minutes when people just started doing craziness and I got bumped to 4th. But it is what it is.
The only thing I'm annoyed with is I didn't follow suit and spend.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I know that
I could have easily come with you in that.
I know that we talked about it for a while, and I was like, if there's gonna be step up not turnbuckles, but the steps, right? Like the steel steps, whatever they call them, for the buckles, or the perk, or whatever you want to call it. It was going up to 40%. 40% is a huge uptick in score for if you're gonna grind the entire feud. Fuck off, DJ. I wish I had pulled Ford from a bag.
I mean, you have him, so I'm not really trying to hear this.
God. I grinded for him, though. But anyway, I wish I got Docs. Docs is the only one that I wish I had now, because the tag team with him would be ridiculous. That would be a monster tag team. I'd have over 1 million on Ford. But regardless.
No Ford, no Dawkins.
Regardless.
Me and my Rob Van Dam just sitting over here by ourselves. It's fine. Fine.
So, anything else on the 2-weeker on the Hall of Fame event that anyone else wants to comment on before we move on to Mania? No? Alright. Let's talk about Mania. What do y'all think about MVP and Shelton as the cards just to start it out with? And then what about this whole entire monthly with these mystery coins and all this other type of shit? I may be a little biased, and I love the Hurt Business, but outside of that, and that being said, I was never a huge fan of MVP in the ring. However, I kind of like MVP's card more than Shelton's card in this game. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's just me.
I've not even looked at any of the cards. I've not used MVP yet. I have no intentions of using him until he's at least 9k. And then I'll start blitzing with him. Until then, I have no interest in using him.
I'm debating taking him 5-star, Vin.
That gives me one of all.
Me too.
I'm just
I'm in
honestly.
Vin's boat.
Sorry, go on, Envy.
So I'm in Vin's boat. I haven't used him. He looked great in the previews, but I haven't even touched him yet.
He's an amazing card, consistently recycling. For me specifically, he's a card that will use yellow MP or yellow gems or a boss time plate. Um, that's what I want to have him at 5-star for, because it is going to be very consistent and very solid damage for a technician. Plus that tag link for 50% all gem damage is ridiculous.
I'm happy that tag link works with Powerhouse Shelton too.
Does it?
Yeah, that gives the free to play players.
That's awesome.
You know, a bit of a boost in my opinion, because they can use the 2 free characters to get that 50% damage buff. That's major.
That's really awesome then. So
especially if you actually use Shelton as well, because Powerhouse is 50% extra damage. It's huge.
And Powerhouse Shelton is not a scrub by any means. Like, he's fairly low charge. He recycles decently. Like for a free to play character, he's not bad. So tag link is going to be huge.
I think it'd be kind of disgusting because Shelton uses blast gems. So if you used MVP as the start and Shelton as the hot tag, you can use MVP with boss time plate, tag out to Shelton. Shelton now has Powerhouse gem damage with blast gems and cross breaks on the board.
And they both use yellow and green moves, so MVP will be charging him.
Right. That's the thing. They share colors. So yeah, that'd be pretty disgusting for a lot of the.
Plus, obviously, you can jack up Shelton by doing like Slick Rick, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, because he's the tag partner instead of the starter. He doesn't need the MP.
Yeah.
So definitely very solid.
MVP?
7s and 8s, I think.
So that's not even too bad in a showdown, realistically, as well.
No, I don't. Does he have a 9? Is there a 9 involved, or is there a 6 involved? There's one or the other. I don't remember.
Because with Rikishi, you only essentially need a free match, because obviously you get the +2 with gem swipes, then the 1, then your turn. So
it's going to be a very solid and viable tag team. I could certainly see it doing some damage.
So even when people miss out on Acro Shelton,
I was going to say,
still revert to Powerhouse.
I was going to say, I'm not trying to shit on Acro Shelton by any means. He still looks like a decent card, but I'm not blown away by him by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that, like you just said, if you don't get Shelton this month, it wouldn't be something that I'd be crying over. Like that's my outlook on it. Powerhouse Shelton fills the tag link, and
I feel like if I had Montez Ford, I wouldn't be that impressed by Shelton either.
Listen,
that's what I was waiting on. I was waiting on you with the he no Ford. That's what I wanted to hear.
Has nothing to do.
I am being dead serious though. If I had
nothing
an acro that didn't rely on the board, was a 5 charge, so he's turn 1 with MP trainers, then why would I look at any other acro and be like, I want that?
Has nothing to do with
multiply gems.
Has nothing to do with
it. So he's not getting nerfed. No, but I'm just saying, if you have the best acro in the game and they make the chase character an acro, are you really realistically saying this is going to make or break my roster? No.
For me specifically, no. For me specifically, no, but I would have also said the same thing if I had Ford or didn't have Ford, because I have other acrobats that are better than Shelton. But that's my point.
I forgot about Steamboat.
But that's my point. Is there's other acrobats which are better than Shelton that most people in the game will typically have at this point.
Like HBK, who I've just recently required.
There you go.
Yeah, like a 5-star silver Rob Van Dam, right?
I would argue that he probably is, yes.
With a bad attitude plate and a 20% all gem damage legendary strap.
So the thing is, I don't view this card as a game changer. I think it's solid. To me, it's a better version of R-Truth. That's what it is. R-Truth is an acrobat that makes purple gems. What's that?
I rate R-Truth very, very highly in this game.
So my comparison between R-Truth and Shelton, they're both acrobats. R-Truth focuses purple gem damage, which is his second, and then he buffs it, and Shelton focuses blue, which is his first, and he puts multi gems. So it's just it to me. It's the same thing. It's just a different. It's a different feel of who you want for whatever you want it for. But I mean, yeah, if you can stack the buff on R-Truth, then sure, maybe it's a little bit better. The flip side is
Yeah, but
you
the
also
difference
have much better tag links with the Acro Shelton with the Hurt Business, and you can focus that much easier. So I just I don't
I mean,
really think they're very far off from each other. I
yeah,
think
I
they're
get that
solid.
point.
What's
It's just
that?
the fact that
I
there's
mean, the
so
R
many
Truth tag link with
reduced.
Carmella is pretty good.
Yes. So in
Just
a
throw that
mixed
out there.
in a mixed
That's
tag
pretty OP.
situation, yes, hands down in a mixed tag situation, R-Truth gets the nod. And
Yeah, but
in like
how
a
often do we get those?
right, and like in a male situation, I think that Shelton would get the edge because of the tag link with Hurt Business. But I don't know. Vin, what were you saying? I think I cut you off there before.
Basically, what I'm saying is that there's too many people that reduce the multi gems, so Shelton won't be that good really because that's how many multi gem reductions there is. So
He only does like a handful of multi gems. It's the fact that he just focuses like 4 columns of blue gems instead
yeah,
of purples. And I think he
Mm.
does like 4 or 5 multi gems, maybe 6 if you have Z Taker. I don't know the exact numbers, but outside of
yeah,
that, like he's solid. I
but
just
with the right plate or with the right medal, should I say? If you've got a purple gem medal, you can make our true purple gem just as strong as his blue gem, and then you're stacking the purple gem to be his strongest gem. I think that'll hit harder than Shelton in the long run.
listen, V King, you leave my Z Taker out of this. You leave my Z Taker out of this conversation. But yeah, everybody else talk to me about this month besides just my thoughts on MVP and Shelton. What do y'all think of mystery coins? What do you all think about the cards as well? And what are you planning to actually do? Are you planning on chasing Shelton? And are you planning on taking MVP to 5-star or not? I'm definitely taking mine for sure because I want to get that boss time plate on him. It's going to be fun.
You know he doesn't have to go 5-star to put a boss time plate on him, right?
Doesn't have to, but it'd be better if he
that's
was.
that's just a roster flex, AJ. You know that.
I was told he should go 5.
I'm going to stick up for Bob there. He can't really roster flex when he's only got a 1.7 million roster. He's not
Only.
flexing.
Only. Yeah.
What
That's because he still has fodder.
When did
Must
my,
be
Well, yeah.
nice.
when did this turn into roster shaming too, Bob? This is not a
Yeah,
this is not a topic.
This is why you need somebody that isn't in a top 5 faction to come and check you. That's why I'm here.
That's fine. So this isn't the topic though. Don't roster shame me. I didn't do any shit. I didn't do anything. Listen, Ocho, shut up. That's not my recipe
fodder is
for
important and
success.
still has a place in the game.
You leave me alone, Ocho. It's not obtain every card and don't level any. It's obtain every card and level them to 5k so they have a viable trainer ability.
Over 9k, but whatever.
So talk to me about this.
I plan on
Mania.
playing.
Yeah, talk to me, AJ, please.
I plan on playing the event like normal.
Okay.
I'll take MVP to 4 gold, and I'll chase Shelton. The mystery coins thing, well, I think it's a good idea. Interesting idea, not necessarily a good one. The fact that the week 1 has started off with such poor implementation and has cost quite a few people milestones that could potentially have impact for the entire month for them, it just puts everybody off on what was supposed to be a really good month.
Yeah, it's definitely a shitty start. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely a shitty way to start the month, which was supposed to be a biggie.
Yeah.
But it's still possible, I think. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. I think the mystery coins are going to be kind of like the NWO Macho situation where you're going to most likely need the majority of them in order to get the shard conversion to get the card or whatever it is. But I still think that the card will be available in a poll afterwards or something like that. That's just my thoughts.
I hope that's the case, and I hope fucking history repeats itself for me.
I mean, Vin, it probably is, and it probably will. That's at least where my thoughts are on it. My thoughts are not always 100% right, you know, but that's just my thoughts.
If that's the case, I'm happy to wait for Mania every year to pull.
It could be like the Hogan thing, though, where you go and you try and you get absolutely everything, and it only gets you half a character.
That'd be. Ooh. All right, so I think I'm with Vin on this one. Screw it.
I'm just saying they've done both, so you have no idea what the outcome is going to be. You don't know what it is, you know?
So now, to me, it sounds like I should be saving instead of spending on the potential now of half a card. Maybe I should just save when the full card is put in a pull later on. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm just saying we don't know.
I mean, I'd rather take the risk and not know and just gamble at the end and just fucking spend at the end than try and spend now, potentially miss out by 2 shards or 2 coins or whatever I'm going to be short, and then be like, oh, well, fuck it, let's just go for a pull anyway.
It's gonna be interesting, honestly. But Envy, what about you? What are your plans for Mania month? I didn't hear much from you.
I'm actually in on this month. I'm in on the Hurt Business. I'm gonna run through that milestone, get MVP to 4-star gold. Hopefully max the month long. Hopefully get enough shards to get Shelton Benjamin, and try not to spend anything to get there.
All right. Stereotypical goal. Anybody you're planning on taking up through the month?
Oh, this is Dawkins month. This is Sasha maybe, and now my new project is Walter.
Oof. That sounds like a thick month for you, Envy.
Well, considering you just randomly found a General's Orders plate too. How convenient.
I just found Walter at 9K on my roster. I didn't even know when I got him up that high. I just got him like a month ago.
I got Walter.
Envy, can we maybe make like a 2-minute segment at some point during this podcast for you to just tell us the other things that you've found on your roster, like a scavenger hunt?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, stuff just popped up. I was looking at Kofi with like 5K. I said, I didn't even touch this guy. I don't know how he got up there. These guys just showing up and showing out.
There you go, Envy. Just found a Kofi randomly.
Tech Kofi.
Just found a Tech
don't have
Kofi.
him.
Oh man, just found a Tech Kofi and a Walter and a General's Orders and shit, Envy. You're
Have
just.
you actually got the, hey, Envy, have you actually got the honky tonk plate as well?
Do I? I don't know.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Vin, he might.
It's the one
Vin,
that
he.
you get this, yeah, you might have it.
He might
It's the one you get
find
this month.
one soon.
Well, if you can max this month, you'll get it, and that does make Kofi a lot of fun.
So what does honky tonk plate do?
It's
So basically, every time you break 3 green gems, it fills his blue move. You get 3 MP. So
Yeah.
obviously, if you can get so turn 1, it's like the way I've got my Kofi set up at the minute is I've got Lawler and obviously Ray's like fucking fat ADR on him. So turn 1, blue move, green and purple move. If I get a wild card, obviously of green gems, I get my blue move twice on the first turn. By turn 2, majority of the time, I'm hitting a pin for like 700k plus.
Yeah, Envy. It's when you match 3 green, get 3 blue, and that just makes that gem damage boost consistent every single turn.
Every turn, yeah.
So
I do not have that plate.
there you go.
Well, it's the end of this month as well.
Okay, well then I'm going for it.
There you go.
Yeah, I'd certainly recommend it.
There you
Give
go.
her, man. You got this.
That
It's
was.
like I even I spent the 8k bit parts because I had a belt on Kofi. It was only an epic belt, which was max, and I had all the max medals on. And then I got this honky tonk plate, and I thought, now I'm gonna have to take the belt off Kofi and put a legendary belt on him. And I had just a random shit legendary belt, so I've just put that on Kofi, just so I could put the honky tonk plate on him.
Vin,
But now his belt is weak.
I think you're missing live chat right now. Ocho would like to know what kind of terrorist puts Lawler
You're
on
getting
Kofi.
dapped
It gets in turn 1 in Showdown. Fuck off, Ocho.
Oh god. All right. Anybody else's plans for Mania? Goldie, plans for Mania? Shelton,
I'm going
MVP.
for it. I took off last month. So I have a 1-star bronze Tucker to show for it.
Oof.
Still managed to get my 30 showdown matches though. So there's my flex.
That's impressive alone, by the way.
Oh, there was like a 95% fail rate just trying to get him to survive and move the pin bar right as much as possible to tag in either Carmella or Zombie Page. But it only took 2 health packs if I lost. So
that's what I mean. It's like,
I actually got messages about it, Vin, because
Town Hall thought I was a hacker.
It showed her beating a 5 silver zombie Roman with her 1 bronze Tucker, and everyone's like, "This makes no sense. This is ridiculous." But at the end of the day, the zombie Roman, yeah. Go on.
The zombie Roman is double black. So
no pin bar movement.
Steal health and heal 4. So they don't break any gems. They don't move anything. And then the AI would match yellow gems even though the blue move was equipped. So I would match blue gems. And then he can match all the black gems he wants to survive. And then I just take in Zombie Page and stun my way out of it. And this Bray Wyatt guy or whoever, top player on the portal, my you-know-what, thinks I'm a hacker because he doesn't know how to play defensively. But so that was fun. That was my weekend.
We don't have a censor on this podcast, Goldie.
What's that?
I know, yeah.
We don't have a censor on this podcast.
Oh, good. Fuck that guy then. Hide behind your
I'll say it for you, Goldie. Don't worry. I don't give a fuck.
Hide behind your wallet, Mr. Top Player. I don't give a shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, hang on a minute. I've got Top Player next to my name, so fuck off that.
Get the fuck off me, boss.
Oh, god.
Leave that Top Player fucking symbol alone.
Whatever. I'm in a top faction apparently. So, anyways, that's my little digression for the podcast. Thank you, Robert, for that. So, anyways, I took.
Jesus, how formal.
Yeah, that was just how to fucking know. That was so weird.
I just thought it was so funny that like Town Hall comes and they're like, "Is this player legit?" And then an hour later, Firpo follows my gaming account on Twitter because of my Charlotte Flair preview. I'm like, "Oh, we're having it both ways? Okay."
Of course.
Anyways, so I took off last month to hoard resources. I saved up over 100 mil coin for the first time ever. That's never happened for me. So I was really happy about that. Saved up about 5k TP of each color, which has also never happened for me. And farming without tour perks was... Well, I did tour perks last month, but that 2-week period where there were no tour perks sucked. But managed to get about 5k in each color. Maxed the talent up, got Tech Becky from the Keys, took her 4-star bronze right away. I'm stoked about that. Goldie 2 belts is finally on the roster.
Have you got a gear?
Not yet.
Okay.
I wish I had 5k TP of blue. I've dumped so much fucking blue into Ford. I'm down to 46 blue TP left.
Right, I've got no TP
Did you get mugged?
Did what?
Did you get mugged?
No,
I've got a violin for you if you want, Bob.
I just dumped it into that motherfucker, and I was like, "Yep, this is where it's going," and I'll just farm it back up inevitably. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, I don't really care about perks anymore ever. So I'll just fucking deal with it.
Yeah, you don't.
So I'll just fucking deal with it. I'll find blue TP one day or another.
You'll survive.
I've literally got no TP in every colour, Bob. I maxed the first month, like first week of the TP of the month, and then that's it. I don't do another one. So that's what I've done. I've maxed this first TP event, and then that's it. Now I won't do any more TP events for the rest of the month. So once I finally get +3 tour perks, then I'll just go farming with Godfather.
It should be really soon.
I can just do. I should get it. I think Monday. I think it works out. I'll get it.
Yeah, the tour and blitz perks this month. I don't want to like steer anybody off, but I do want it to just mention while we're talking about perks. Tour and Blitz perks this month have been extremely kind in the sense of I had Max Blitz and one away from Max Tour perks on day 1 of the month.
Yeah.
I know not everybody else necessarily had that because it's dependent on what starter packs they purchased, but the perks this month have been very generous in able to start with them instead of, again, ending the month with 2 or 3 days of the tour perks. This
I'm
is
honestly
They've done
fine
the
with
last
getting
couple of
level
months,
3
though.
tour perks,
Yeah.
That's it.
But this is
Well,
how I'd rather them do it, AJ, instead of that old school way of only giving us 2 or 3 days with max perks, because that's just
Oh no,
it's
I'm with
awful.
you.
So I end up buying them all the Blitz perks, sorry, all the Blitz turnbuckles off the prize wall first, just to make sure I had it. And then because I didn't look at the solo event that was going with you spend coin, and obviously we got the stars, and then it now works out that I didn't actually have to spend any t-shirts on the turnbuckles. So because I had so many extra turnbuckles, I have now got all 3 Blitz perks completely maxed.
Yeah,
I don't know
didn't.
why. I just couldn't actually basically spend turnbuckles at the same time because it's so cheap to level up your Blitz perk. Do you know what I mean? It's like 7k to unlock the thing. The last one's like 100k. I think I've done both sets like 300k coins.
I only really care about the one Blitz perk, but I understand where the other ones like come in. But yeah, that's why I won't purchase the ones off the prize wall just yet until day 1. Like, I'll look at the prize wall perk turnbuckles after I've done my perks on day 1. That's what I'll do. Because otherwise, I'll purchase the ones off the prize wall and be like, shit, now I have extra. This is stupid. But I am a fan of the early perks. Anybody else on the Mania month plans Shelton MVP or the mystery coins? Anybody have any idea what the mystery coins are going to be? Of who it's going to be?
I feel like it's not going to be Lashley.
There's no
and
way.
A lot of people, no, because that's too obvious, I think.
Lashley needs to be a pay character for them.
Yeah.
Like, they need to just make money off of him.
Oh, you
That's
actually want to stop. I went to show you pressed it. No, it's fine. I just went to show you meant to press it or not.
You gotta press Lashley real hard, Vin. Real hard press it.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
She just weren't too sure if she was actually getting off the bus or
It's
not.
all
She just
good.
like decided. She went, thank you, and I gone past the stop. Okay. Give me some notice.
So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Lashley. They gotta make money off of Lashley.
Well, the only thing you could really do then, if that was the case, would be like use the coins to be a gear
It's gotta
for
be.
certain characters.
It's going to be Hogan.
It's gotta be a new Hogan. I was just gonna say it's
gonna
gotta
be
be a
Hogan.
new Hogan.
That's where the money is.
But what's he got to do with anything to do with the purpose? Or are you just thinking more along the lines of
Mania.
Hall of Fame?
Who cares?
Is that all you're thinking of? Well, what about Bischoff? Because he's just been
Get the fuck
inducted
out of
into the
here! What
Hall
do you
of
mean?
Fame.
Bischoff from Mystery Coins, Vin. That's who it's gonna
No,
be.
but-
Hall,
I'm
that
on
would be
a Hall of Fame.
fantastic, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
a Hall of Fame Bischoff card.
Let's
But
go.
you never know with the fucking game, do you? He's just been inducted.
Vin.
And we got Snoop.
I think we
They
would
give
have
us
him.
new Titus.
Envy,
He's a host now.
Slide
Envy,
under
we're
the ring,
not-
Titus.
I knew you were gonna say it, but we're not getting WrestleMania host Titus. that's not gonna be a
World
card.
That's what we need, another black generate trainer. We can get this going. I can have one on Randy Orton. I can have one on
He's not
Zombie
gonna.
Triple H.
He's not gonna have the same trainer.
He can be coach. This thing could be epic.
This is not gonna be how this is gonna work. Oh god.
Can you imagine the joy you would have with 2 Tituses on one person? Tossing all sorts of blacks out there.
Oh
It's
my
gonna be
God.
now. We all know it's gonna be Hall of Fame Molly Holly.
See that would be interesting if they.
I
did
wouldn't
that.
hate that.
I don't think many people would like it.
Okay, never mind then.
Oh god. I do think it's gonna be some type of Hogan. It just has to be. Like they did
Or
NWO
Warrior.
Macho. My thought is that they're gonna do something with Hogan, just some new
I feel
Hogan.
like if it's a WrestleMania thing, like another
Showboat
Shawn
Hogan.
Michaels
Or
would be nice.
Mr. WrestleMania Shawn
Mr.
Michaels.
WrestleMania Trickster Shawn or something.
I mean,
See.
it could be Bischoff. He's got the NWO win.
Vin, get the fuck out of here. I'd rather see fucking
Then go
WrestleMania.
Tiger Bus.
I'd rather see WrestleMania host Titus than fucking Hall of Fame Bischoff. Okay.
So, yeah, what are you going to do then? Bob, are you going to do a £100 giveaway if it's Bischoff?
No.
I think you should.
No. Not doing it.
No, hold on a second. Going back to the mystery coins and the fact that it's
God.
a WrestleMania event.
Too funny.
I'm not entirely up on my WrestleMania history, but they're centering around WrestleMania 22.
What,
So-
like, oh yeah, this whole Icons
This
of Mania
whole-
22
Well,
thing.
and like the WrestleMania 22 strap bags that you acquire and whatnot. We got Mickie because WrestleMania 22 was Mickie versus Trish. Is there a historian? Is it just this week?
Yeah, it's just this week. Next week it'll be a different WrestleMania.
Oh, okay. So I guess pick the WrestleMania and then pick a match from that WrestleMania and see what
Yeah.
character will come out of that. Okay. That's
Yeah.
never mind then.
It could be the Streak Taker.
Oh, someone just okay, Rod.
A-Rod with the Mania 22 lineup there.
It would be cool if we did if there was like a Streak Taker tour.
The streak,
That would be fun.
the streak taker. would be
Ocho's
cool.
comment. Wow, that gave me cancer. That's a bit harsh.
The streak taker would be
Jesus
pretty
Christ.
solid.
I
not
mean, I've
gonna
had
lie.
cancer. It's a little worse than that comment, but okay.
Jeez, a 9.5 minute match for Taker in Mania 22 against Mark Henry, just disposing of him real quick, huh, Taker?
Casket match.
Jeez, all those matches are quick as fuck, pretty much. Sheesh. Anyway,
So the thing is,
Um,
what class could you put Taker?
huh?
What class could you put Taker?
I mean,
Any
it's-
of them. We have 2 striker or Triple H.
I was gonna say I
Rainbow.
could do any of them.
Rainbow, he counts for all.
He's gonna be the first 7th class.
I honestly think they would probably put him as a showboat. I think they would put him as showboat, the streak Taker, and
And then just a shitload of gear.
he would just have, yeah, probably a gear for every
Shitload
Mania
of
or
gear.
something.
Yeah.
Probably
That
have
would be fun.
himself like
That would be
20
really
something gears, and you'll probably end up finding gear bags, and there might be like a gear exchange thing.
Does
and
that mean we'd get a new
who
Brock?
knows? Who knows? Oh man,
The
that'd be
Streak
awful.
Ender Lesnar.
That'd be awful. I
That
don't want
would,
that at all.
But
I don't want that at all.
would you rather have Hall of Fame Bischoff?
No. No.
I'm just
I
gonna
want-
say,
I-
when you think about Mania, the most common theme that has been static all the way through all of the Manias has been, the biggest constant has been the Taker matches.
It would be really
So
cool
if it's
they did
tying
something
to WrestleMania, that for me would be the biggest thing ever,
All right, there's 3 things I'm thinking. It's either Mr. WrestleMania Shawn, it's got to be something with a Hogan, or it's got to be like everyone's saying is the Streak Taker. Those are the
Or
3 things that I
Spin's
can
name
think
Charlotte Flair Queen WrestleMania 36 link.
of. Yeah, what is that?
It was a tag link that showed up for me last night, and Aiden just threw it in the chat too.
Weird.
Yeah, it's for that week when they're focusing on WrestleMania 36.
Yeah, so who from WrestleMania 36 could come
Becky?
out? Another Becky? Ronda.
It probably will be Mania, Becky. Be interesting.
Becky 2 belts.
Could happen. It really
That's
could.
gonna be my week, god damn it.
Well, anybody else on the overall on Mania, the MVP Shelton card, mystery coins, any of that stuff?
If it's Becky 2 belts, I'm gonna be opening up the donation.
All right.
Passing
Let's
around the
talk
bunch of
about
things.
it. We have had not 1, not 2, not 3, and not 4, but
Hypocrisy.
5 consecutive days of Showdown. 5 of them.
On the 5th day of Showdown, Scopely gave to me.
I actually
They
said
finally
that.
gave us the big bonus on the 5th day.
I actually said that shit inside of the Scopely feedback channel, and I just
I'm sure
said
that went over well.
it sure did. It sure did. Let me tell you. Oh God, it was great.
Piper, who is that?
But yeah, what do y'all think about 5 consecutive days of showdown, midweek showdown into a female weekend showdown
I'm
for the
stoked we're
Mickie James
finally
card?
getting a female showdown. I feel like it's been a minute.
So me personally, the first 3 days were fine because you weren't that grind to stay above 700 because you weren't getting the you had to stay above 700
Yeah,
reward
there was no
on a
reset
Sunday.
reward.
Yeah. So for me, it was great because I done a little bit, I went to sleep, done a bit, went to sleep, got over 700, hammered out a day, like hammered out me day one in like literally 20 minutes, and then on the third day, it took me about 40 minutes. So I was fine with that. It's this one that's going to be the pain in the ass because again, you've got to stay above 700 just to get your reset of maximum coins. And at the end of the day, let's be honest, we could all do with showdown coins to
Can we?
get TP and get resources. And especially the fact that Hall of Fames are now coming thick and fast.
Vin,
Those tokens are going to come in handy.
Vin, what do you buy with showdown coins? I've been trying to have this conversation with everybody. I don't understand it.
So basically, every single day I go on, I'll get whatever star fragments are in there and whatever TP is in there.
Yeah.
And then that is pretty much all I buy every day.
So
If
why do
Hall of
you
Fame tokens
need
come up,
so why do you need showdown coins then?
well, why not?
How many you got right now?
I mean, if
I,
there's a cash
I'm now
spend,
up to
then you could definitely.
153k,
Okay,
but I
so
was
that's my
down to 100k before these 3 days. I was down to
I mean, you have
100k.
but that's my point. So why do you need more coins if you're
1.2 million showdown
if
coins.
you're yeah, I was gonna say AJ, I'm sure Demon has a lot or you have a lot.
Yeah.
I'm at like 500k myself. It's like I don't
Because the amount of times
understand.
I've been down to like no like 0k, like literally, I only a month ago, Bob, I was literally down to under 9k showdown coins
Thoughts and prayers, Ben.
How?
because it's like because I've bought legendary belts to sell for strap parts for Hall of Fames. There's 14,000.
Okay,
I
so
had to buy
that's what I'm asking. What do you purchase besides just the TP and
so
Star
yeah, I
Frags?
had to buy the China heads to make it a 4-star. I've bought Hall of Fame tokens. I'm out to like some like 64-star Hall of Fame tokens, the ones that I go 11k a pop. So there's like 660k's worth of tokens alone.
Yeah,
So
okay,
because
I get
because I
you.
have no intentions of ever getting the 5-star Hall of Fame tokens, realistically, I just don't because I'm not spending for them. They don't make
If
or
they
break
ever
rosters
add them
too
to the
much.
showdown shop, we're all going to be broke.
That is
Exactly.
true. If that happens, then yes, absolutely. Me personally, like
So,
I got Wolfpack Sting, I got the Big Show gear. I was debating getting the 4-star bronze fuse for Vince at one point or another, just because I had so many extra coins laying over. Like I just didn't. I still don't understand how people go through so many coins. It makes sense to save them up if they're inevitably
well,
going to bring 5-star Hall of Fame tokens in, or if you're purchasing Hall of Fame tokens in case you got any people recently that you want to take to 4-star gold. That makes sense. But I don't get it. Like overall, I don't
That's
know.
what some people call farming.
Oh
yeah,
well,
They
that
refresh
because
and just buy the star fragments and TP
yeah, but that
continually.
that type of quote
literally
unquote
every
farming costs
I spend
IGC.
roughly on that in-game cash. I roughly spend like 1k in-game cash every day just farming and stuff.
That's ridiculous. That's like $20 every 2 days, man. That's insane amounts of IGC on just refreshing the store.
But it's the only realistic chance I'm going to get 500 TP if I just keep refreshing. And that
Yeah.
500 TP
All
has
right.
not showed up for I don't know how long.
I'm gonna test something in the background while the podcast is going on. Then
This is gonna go well.
I'm gonna do some purchases and see what 10 refreshes. Let's see what I get in 10 refreshes. But I'm not gonna interrupt anybody, please. Let's not stop all that nonsense. What is everybody thinking about 5 days of Showdown consecutively?
The first day was bad for me, real bad. I felt like I was playing all day just to get to that 700, just to get to the max milestone. But after that, it was smooth sailing. It was like 10 matches a day, and I was in and out.
Fair enough.
Had to drop to the bottom though to get to where I need to be the second day. But after that, it was real easy. Randy Orton was running through people, and I realized I really need to do better with my matchmaking and not get worried about these Sakos. People need to give up on these Sakos today.
I don't think that's
Would you
happening.
prefer Orton?
Yeah, I got on them 5-star silver, but I still don't want to bleed. I don't want to bleed at all. I don't like bleeding.
So you'd rather deal with.
No, I'm saying, would you prefer facing Ortons instead of Sakos?
Yeah, I take Ortons all the time. I take anybody except for Sako because I don't like people kicking out of a 500K pin. You need to stay down.
And Sako really needed that 30% boost to bleed damage this month, right?
Yeah, I don't understand what that was all about. That he got an
Jesus.
MLC buff for bleed damage. And
there's the
then
bleed
on
perk.
top of that, there's a showdown perk which for some reason comes with bleed damage this month.
Oh, I'll have to go look at that.
It was like when it got to the point where the community was saying, okay, we need a stun turn reduction trainer, Scopely came out with extra turn straps. So now everyone's like, we need a bleed reduction coach or trainer. And they're like, okay, we're going to boost Sako this month. Wow, thanks. Really appreciate it.
The only good thing about facing Socko is when he gets those pins. When he doesn't get the bleed off on you because he gets a cascade. Because technicians get a lot of cascades that easy. I'm pretty sure I won't be the only one. But when you face a Socko, because you've got no other choice but to face a Socko, and it's like you're talking to your phone saying, please pin, please pin, please pin, please pin, please pin. Yes, you pinned me. Thank fuck for that. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that does this.
All right,
No,
Vin.
That's what I do too.
So I have a Blue Bombers plate on my zombie Triple H, and if that triggers on my turn, the AI, when placing that 1x3 of yellow, will try to remove the blast gem.
Yeah.
So that usually doesn't create a wild card, and it doesn't charge his move, so I escape. But that's only a 50-50 chance. But that's been my hope, is please God let this plate trigger so he'll take the blast gem and not charge his yellow moves.
I pick on any Sako that's running a boss plate.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
Please, everybody put a boss plate on your Sako.
It
Because
is so fucking
that's just
dumb.
awesome.
Because you don't ever hit the bleed move. You constantly blow up the board. You're getting pinned for 200k. Take that every day of the week.
Yeah, the AI plays it dumb.
Right?
Offensively, it's great, but defensively, it's not AI proof.
Well, no, not many cards are AI proof, unfortunately.
No.
Stardust was.
Like a 5-star silver zombie Roman.
Anywho. So yeah, I'm not a fan of 5 Days of Showdown. I think it sucks awful. Just absolutely awful. It's not enjoyable. Playing a game mode like this for as many days as you have to play it in a row, whether it's even only 10 or getting your requirement matches done or whatever it may be, it's just not enjoyable. It really is not an enjoyable type of thing to feel like you're forced to play Showdown for 5 consecutive days. Playing a weekend event is fine. Playing a weekend event during weekdays in the middle of a month is really stupid, in my opinion. I get that not everybody feels that way, but that's just me.
All I done was worked out on that first one. Right, realistically, where can I get to? Right, I can't max it. Okay. Can I get to the second to last milestone? Yeah, I can. How many matches do we need to do with Tucker before? It worked out. I needed to do 6 matches of Tucker. I was fine. I stopped once he hit 7 mil because I got the silver star or 8 mil, whatever it was. I think it was 8. I can't remember. But anyway, it's like I didn't do Tucker because I couldn't max it. So I thought there's no point grinding the Tucker matches to try and place higher in the leaderboard to potentially maybe get something. I would have finished on 10 million points. It's still a million short.
Yeah.
So I thought, no, not interested. So I just done the basic, what I needed to do to get to the 7 mil milestone, because that was worth worth the time and the effort. And I'll do the same this showdown. If I can't mathematically max it, I'll see where realistically I'm going to get to. And if it's like, right, okay, I can get to the second to last milestone again, then I'll get to the second to last milestone. If it needs to stay above 700, I'll grind it a bit more and stay above 700. If it don't, I'll go to sleep. I don't care. And I'll wake up in the morning and just do what I need to do.
So let's
The only
talk
thing,
about this
the only
showdown.
thing, go on.
I was gonna say let's talk about this showdown. It's female female.
Yeah,
Perks have been purchased for the week so far. Everyone knows what type of showdown perks they're gonna have to deal with. What's the
yeah.
plan? What females are you using for female female showdown?
I'm, I'm still pretty much going to use Sasha Banks and probably Bailey, or Sasha Banks and someone along those lines. And she still will start turn one for sub, as long as you go double yellow MP. But I'll probably just go one MP because she's got +5 of the gear. She's just going to be shit for defense because the gear doesn't work yet. But, it's essentially giving her 12 yellow MP on her moves, going 2 trainers. Do I think it's going to put people down? I don't know. I'll have to weigh that up for the first bit. But realistically, she's only going to struggle against Carmella, I think.
With
And maybe
the escape
China.
artist plate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the real question for me is, do we think the bonus points for the special character matches will remain live for the entire showdown, or where they get pulled early?
That'd be nice if they, stayed.
What do you mean by that?
Why would they get pulled?
Well, like yesterday, the bonus, if you hadn't gotten all your bonus character fights done, you were just SOL in the last one because they pulled them early.
Well, that
Yeah,
was
but
because the code was messed up on the timers.
because I'm guessing they thought it was going to reset with everyone's points resetting each day, so you could do China, because when I went to it, China went back to 0 for me. So I thought, oh, does that mean I can get China points again? So you probably just didn't know how to code it properly to actually last 3 days.
To
I'm
the
just
surprise
asking.
of who?
What was that? What did I miss?
I don't know. I had it cut out as well.
Yeah, Goldie, what'd you say?
Oh, I just said we're surprised that they don't know how to code stuff. That's
Oh.
funny to me.
Oh, well, no, of course I
That's
don't
all.
know how to code shit. But yeah, that's what it was the code. The code was fucked up on the timing of when the characters were allowed to earn bonus points, and the event went for too many days. So, copy paste didn't work for once. But yeah, female showdown's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see how many silvers there are out there, females already, 5 silvers. I'm also interested to see how many 5 bronzes there are out there. And I kind of want to see what most people are going to have on defense. I'm afraid it's going to be a lot of Lana's. And Lana's kind of a real big nuisance on defense.
She's
Tied
very annoying.
tied to
Be a very long
this
match.
tied to this showdown event is the new female card Mickie James. What do y'all think about Mickie? I'm actually one of the lone wolves here and don't really like her card all that much, from my understanding.
Not even look.
Um,
I fought for it, but not look.
well, that sounds like a very Vin thing to do.
I'm not up on
I'm up to
Mickie.
400. Yeah. I'm up to 400 shards. That's about it.
So you're not up on Mickie, AJ?
No,
I'm not either.
I'm not a big fan of cards that damage yourself.
As an
I think she's
overall,
gonna be.
go on, Envy. Sorry.
I think she's gonna be a poison pill in feud if you can beat her down enough to get about 100K, and somehow she drops that finish on her and kills you and kills herself, so you don't get any points.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the worst.
Mm-hmm. That'll happen.
That will hurt you for points on feud, though, because
It
she
will
damages herself and you don't get credit for that damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
Yep.
Lana is showdown defense number 1 nightmare right now, besides DX China. Ever since DX China came out,
DX China.
the two of them can now kind of fight for that ranking of number 1, but they're both number 1, number 2, hands down.
I still go DX China number 1.
That's fine, but the point is Lana's a clear number 2. But the
Mhm.
point is, there is no real version of that in feud. Mickey's gonna be that in feud, and that's the issue, because Mickey's going to do a shitload of damage to you. Whether you kick out or not is a different story. If you kick out, great for you. You have a good shot at beating the card. If you didn't kick out, it sucks. You just lost a whole lot of health, and now you got to go back in against that card again. And like both of you were just saying, she's now down 200,000 health. Sure, easier to win, less points for you. It's just, it's going to be a complete nuisance of a card to deal with on defense for feud. For me, using that card offensively, it's not viable if you're trying to chase something. If you're using it for feud and you want to use that as your main card, sure, the way that it's set up, you'll regain all of your health before doing the finisher again, but the point is, if you use that one card and blow up your opponent's cards rather, the bottom line is that final move is still going to be a finisher. And that final move is still going to take off 200,000 health, and it's still going to cost you somewhere around 15 to 20 health packs depending on your VIP level. So while it's great and fine and dandy, and maybe it's really big damage really quick, it's still it's costing you resources at the end of the day. And like that's the whole point, is to try and get through feud with using as little health packs as possible. And it's just
Well, somebody was doing it smart though. They go against the hard people first, take them out, then take the easy out with the refill health move.
you can do that too, because it does enough move damage. And it wouldn't be an awful idea, but you have to hope that you're fighting an opponent with a fodder opponent or a fodder card. Because if they're not, you have to use the finisher. And it's just like, at the end of the day, it's a solid card. It's not something that I'm losing my head over, and not something that I'll be losing sleep over if I don't get her. It's great in the sense of blitzes and tours, etc. She certainly punches up, but as for like viably using that card as an offensive like threat, I can't see myself doing it. And Showdown, I have zero issue with taking that card on. That is going to be an easy peasy card to destroy in Showdown if anybody has that as their defense. So I have zero
But the
incentive
show
to
vote,
chase.
of course.
So I that's my outlook on it. I know there's a lot of people who are huge on her with the big damage from the finisher and stuff, but like I said, I'm kind of the lone wolf on I'm not so huge on Mickie mentality. But
I think we're in a spot in the game where, yeah, we're getting more cards that have big damage and things of that nature. But I think, there's two things going on. They're trying to get us to just have to spend our resources more, health packs and things of that nature. But I also think it's trying to drive that class advantage makes a bigger difference, right? So if you take a Acro
nowadays,
in against Showboat Mickie, well, she may not last past turn one.
right?
So her damage doesn't matter.
Yeah, nowadays class advantage is huge with being in 5-star meta. It actually is a very big deal instead of the minor deal that it used to be. But yeah, that's kind of, it's going to be an interesting female showdown. I'm interested to hear what everybody else kind of thinks about the card before we just move on. And I'm not sure, even though I have the Sasha Bailey method, Vin, like you do, I don't even know if it's going to be enough for Showdown.
I mean, I think it will do for a certain point. It's just like, say, you're only really going to struggle against Mel with the escape artist plate. You're
and
going to take
Lana.
on damage by going against China.
And
So,
Lana.
as long as you avoid them two, realistically, there's no one else that's really going to touch Sasha.
There's going to be a lot of Lanas, Vin.
I know there's going to be a lot of Lanas, but the plus side of that is Lana's going to pin, she's going to pin you quite quickly and quite often. And because it's a trickster, they don't do too much damage with those purple gems. Yeah, okay, you can get it to a point where you are doing a fair bit and you might struggle to kick out. But if you sacrifice doing turn one Sasha Banks and put Honky Tonk and obviously Akam on it, then one yellow match, you've got your sub and your finisher turn two. And you're not really taking on too much damage because you're reducing the gems quite a lot.
Would she be turn one ready to go with Naomi tagging?
So she starts off turn 1 with a tag link. I can't remember which tag link it is.
Is it the Team Bad one with Naomi? I think that's 3 starting MP.
Then yes, she'll be turn 1 with Naomi. So she'll be.
But you have to use the bonus characters for a while first.
But you can. You can start off with either. Can't. She'll start off turn 1 with a sub, regardless of the tag link or not. If you're running with Team Bad, you can then do Honky Tonk Man and Harlem and Aiken, and you then need to do your sub turn 1, and I think you'll finish at turn 2, depending on obviously what perks people have got. As long as people have only got 3 MP perks, then you'll still start off with your finish at turn 2. If anyone's got 4 MP perks, then obviously you don't have your finish at turn 2. It'll be turn 3.
Wouldn't be the end.
But all that means you do is on turn 2, you just get a green match on turn 2, and then you're just increasing your protect gems anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's what I plan on doing. I plan on running it with Honky Tonk Man and Aiken. Turn 1 is a sub. Obviously, use your green move turn 2. If there's a green match and I've not got my finisher, I'll get a green match again. I'm even contemplating taking the Escape Artist plate off Sasha Banks, just to sort of put on the thingy plate, the fire extinguisher on the heart plate, where you get 100% on your green gems and purple gems.
The all heart.
After a sub.
I wouldn't do that. I think that's silly for a green swipe.
It's either that, or it's going to be the heavy machinery one. But again, that doesn't benefit her too much either. No, so I don't know if I'm going to take a plate off it or just leave the Escape Artist plate on for when I do face Carmella.
You should just keep it on her. The smart play.
Yeah, but that all heart plate will matter to a certain extent, because if you think about it, you get 100% for your 2 turns, which basically means you're going to get your green match, and if they pin you, at least that way you have got a bit of a bonus to try and kick out of the pin, especially if someone like Lana that's going to flood the board with purple. It's to get that little bit extra just to sort of help you kick out. That's fine, but you've got Roman on yours, so you can sort of have that 100% kick out bonus anyway.
Well, yeah, if need be, but
yeah,
it's going to be an interesting showdown. Is the bottom line. I don't really see myself chasing for the Mickie James card or pulling for the Mickie James card or spending to max this event out. I'll do whatever the requirements take me to and see if I can sort of sneak some points out from some defensive wins. But
yeah,
it's going to be an interesting one. Anybody else on the card or the female showdown? No? All right. Final thing we'll talk about is the UI update changes, and what I am going to call the beginning of the end, quote unquote. The Showboat Rock move change that they are claiming is a quote unquote glitch. But we'll talk about that in more detail in a minute. The UI update changes. There's a couple things, and I kind of want to know what y'all think about it so far. A couple silly things like when you're like on the entrance screen and you're watching the entrances, there's now the words tap to skip on the bottom of the screen. That's a thing. And then obviously there's the big change is now the loot box. How the loot box is dropped down.
I think that's pretty cool.
I hate it.
I prefer it.
I hate it so much.
I wasn't sure if it was an actual game change or if it was because I have like reduced motion set on my phone.
Nope.
I'm fine with it.
It
takes some amount of time in my opinion, but the blockiness, like for me, is fine because I find there's a lot of just lights and noises and whatever on the board, so anything that reduces that is fine with me.
For me,
the way I saw it is you have a more chance of seeing your actual loot boxes, because like how many times do you get like 19 loot boxes, but yet doesn't look like 19's gone on the board because they overlap. Now it generally feels like you're getting all 19 loot boxes.
It may,
that must be nice.
It may feel that way, but be real with you, Vin, there's 2 things I don't like about this whole change. One, I don't like the time of it. or the blockiness like you were just talking about, Goldie, I hate it. It's like I am so built in and used to clicking the screen after winning a match so that I
Yeah,
speed up
same.
the loot gem box animation. And it doing nothing now drives me nuts. On top of that, needing to wait for the loot boxes, and then it shows me the amount, and then it sits, and then it puts them on the board, and then it sits, and then they blow up, and then the board works per normal, and it's like I can't stand the okay, step A, step B, step B to step C. I hate that type of thing.
I
So
think
for
that's to
me
stop macros.
the blockiness is absolutely fucking disgusting for me. I hate it. Um
So you
so
think it's to stop macros?
no. So that being said, I'm not a fan of that. And the second thing that I don't like about it, I don't get even remotely close to max loot anymore. I used to almost always get max loot when I would farm nodes out or when I would play certain matches or if I would do showdown and I would know how to have loot boxes set up on the board in the middle and I would cluster them in the middle instead of on the corners if I could break some or if I could maneuver some based on how I move the board. Like I used to almost always be able to get max loot and if not, it was usually 10 out of 13 or damn close to it. Now with this new layout, I feel like they're purposely aiming for spots on the board that will not give you max loot unless you're overwhelmingly loaded with them and they're like, okay, we have to give you max loot.
It sounds like you need someone better to farm with then.
No, it doesn't.
If you're not getting max loot, you're doing it wrong.
No, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with that. And I'm not the only
Okay.
one who said that. Like, at all.
Yesterday, I had a match that I had. The board started off with 0 loot gems on the board. Made my matches, won my fight, turn 1, didn't drop down any loot boxes. It tossed every loot box out on the board from, all but I get all but one because I'm VIP 12. And didn't make a single loot box match,
I
not
ha-
one.
I had it today in Showdown. You're saying that your board initially had 0, AJ?
Correct.
My board had 8 today in Showdown. And I didn't get a match. Like I didn't even get a 3 match. I had like something like 27 or 25 loot boxes on the board out of 49 gems, and there's no match. It's just the way that it's done now. There's definitely something that they've changed up with it, and I'm not the only one saying it. I've been noticing it in a lot of different faction chats and a lot of side servers. Ever since this change, while visually and graphically it looks cool, it is absolutely much less efficient for most people that are farming. It is not a good change in my opinion, like whatsoever.
See, I've not started farming yet, so I might not have noticed it yet. But just from the few matches that I have got, I'm guaranteeing at this moment in time to keep walking away with at least the 6 loot gems match. But again, that's only from showdown. Whether it's a little bit more generous in showdown than it is to tour matches, I don't know. But I haven't farmed yet because, like I say, I haven't got +3 for Godfather to be turn 1.
You gotta test it out, Vinny. Test it out and see how it goes. But
The same thing's happened to me too. I've seen it where there's no way that these boxes didn't connect anything,
right,
and it happens.
right.
Hold on, Vin. If
Yeah.
you're using Godfather to farm, why does it matter where the loot boxes fall when the match is done?
Oh, it's not going to. That's why I'm saying I've not started farming yet because realistically, it doesn't bother me. So once I get +3, I'm never going to be bothered because Godfather blow up the whole board anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just saying, so I've not noticed it because I haven't farmed yet.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's like it's not going to matter really when it comes to me farming.
Yeah.
When to
I
start
use
farming.
Callisto. It's not going to bother me either.
Well, yeah, if you're blowing up loot gems prior to needing them to match when the loot gems spawn afterwards, then yeah, it won't change anything for you.
If anything, I'm actually contemplating just killing Godfather off before I start farming, so he's got 1 HP. So I don't have to worry about too many loot gems going on the board if it takes that long to fucking put them back on there.
It won't make a difference
It
now,
won't
Vin.
make a difference.
The way that the game works now, it doesn't make a difference
Oh,
if you have
won't it?
full health or 0 health.
Alright, okay.
It all just plops them all
Was it-
on the board at the same time.
Alright, so I'll say, cause if I'm only putting out 1 loot gem for me, It's a lot better than counting out 10, isn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't count anymore. That's the whole blockiness that I was talking about. I don't like it. Um, but yeah, that's again, people are biased on how they feel about it. I'm not a fan of it because I definitely think it's shorting a lot of people loot boxes this time around. In the sense of like how if it's to me, it's just like the destroy trainer. If you have 10 red gems on the board and 5 of them are multi gems and 5 are not multi gems, and you have a destroy 5 red gem move, all the multi gems are staying on board. I feel like that's the same exact thing with the loot boxes right now. It's like you have 8 loot boxes in this position and you're going to generate 13 loot boxes because you won the match. We're going to generate them in 13 spots that will not amount in loot box matches unless we absolutely have to. And then if it has to, then it will just truly do a random, just sporadic layout.
Do
That's
you know
how
what I
I
do
felt.
think's a bit weird though? About like, obviously going back to what you just said then about like if you've got 5 multi gems and then you've got 5 gems that aren't. If you break 6 out of 5 with your move, it'll then target multi gems as well as normal gems.
It'll then be
It won't just target
a
one.
regular random, which is what it should be. How the move actually
Yeah,
reads. Yes.
I think that's dead weird. That so instead of breaking the 5 normal and then 1 multi, it might break 4 multis and 2 normal.
Mhm.
It baffles me. I noticed that with Corbin when I was using Corbin a long time ago.
Yep.
How it never sort of break the multi gems, which then pissed me off. But then when I had a lot of blacks on the board, because I was guaranteed to break more multi gems that were out, then obviously on the more black gems than multi gems, and I had it targeted both gems, and I thought, why is it doing that?
Mhm. That's exactly what I
Like
think
just
it is with this new loot box layout as well. I think they just implemented the same logic. And again, that's just
yeah.
my thinking. My thoughts doesn't obviously mean that everything is spot on correct. It's just my mentality on it. I'm just not a fan of the new loot thing. But outside of that, the final thing, unless anybody else wants to talk about the loot thing or the UI update changes that I missed, is there anything else that I missed before we move on from that to the move changes? Um, Going once, going twice? No? Alright. The Showboat Rock move change. Did anybody else see that? Does anybody else know what we are talking about with
Who
Showboat
uses
Rock
Showboat Rock?
getting his move changed?
Did
Right.
it actually get put in yet?
I don't know if it's officially put in yet. I'm trying to find a screenshot of it. I know it's in the Nerds Lab somewhere, I think, but I don't
Mine's
know
not
where.
4-star, so I won't know.
No, I just wanted to find the blog post screenshot that people were showing around so I could just post it in the live chat for everybody to see. Oh, somebody tagged me. I think they got it.
Oh, is it the 3-star move, A-Rod? I thought it was the 4-star move.
It's in live. Where is it, Reggie? Is it in here? Did somebody already post it in here earlier today? If so, I will repost it so everybody can see what we are talking about. I don't see it, Reggie. Oh, you mean it's live as in it actually is live. Gotcha. Thought you meant it's in the live chat. But yeah, so I can't find the photo right this very second.
Oh, it is live. It's a black move.
So
Damage and destroy a random 1x7 area.
there you go.
Is that the 4-star move?
No, yeah, mine's 3 gold and it's 3-star move.
Okay.
Giving it one final. There we go. I was gonna say I'm giving it one final glance over and where I think it may be. There we go. So, and I quote directly from the blog, we have published another, quote, bug fix update for WWE Champions 2021 with the following improvements. With the forced update, The Rock, the People's Champ, move Samoan drop will be changed from make random black gems to blue to destroy a random 1x7 area. And that is in the live game currently. It's a 3-star move, I think, is what it is.
Yeah, Aiden posted it. It's 3-star.
There you go, 3-star move. So yeah, it's to me, like I was saying, maybe I'm over exaggerating a little bit on this, but this right here, to me, indicates the beginning of the end. This
what?
to me of all the cards that we enjoy right now, of any of the cards that you might like, because this is a quote unquote bug fix update. This isn't, oh, we're doing this because we feel like they're changing a move and they're labeling it a bug fix.
They've done
So
that a couple times with Showboat Rock.
they didn't label
This is not the first time.
they didn't label it a bug fix. They were completely revamping the card, and they did it to Showboat Rock multiple times, and they've done it to TLO Taker as well, which is a complete revamp of the card. And they mentioned a complete overhaul of the card with JBL when he came out. But those are not quote-unquote bug fixes. Those were revamps, or those were overhauls, or those were move changes. To label this as a bug fix gives them the allowance to pretty much do this with any other card that they don't like the way the card looks. And it may be quote unquote poor wording, if that's what you want to call it, A-Rod. The issue is that they can now do this with any other card that's already out there, and they'll get away with it. If they don't like the way Motu Big E is playing, Motu Big E's not moving the pin bar back 7 notches anymore, it's only going to be 4. That's a bug fix. We meant for it to be 4.
I don't think they're saying that they're changing his move as a bug fix. I'm saying the latest update it has, is a bug fix update. It's not a major release. And then they're also going to include this change.
That's how I read it, AJ.
That may be how a typical person would come across reading it, but putting in the wording this way allows them to get away with it.
But AJ and I aren't typical?
My point is that most people that are going to be reading this are going to be thinking it the way that both of you are. But that doesn't mean that they legally can't get away with this being a bug fix. That's the point. Most people are going to read it the way that the two of you are, that this is not an actual bug fix and it's just an update to this card. But the way that they are displaying it can and will be construed as a quote-unquote bug fix. And that's what they will use.
Well, you're in town hall, ask them. You're in town hall, aren't you? Ask them.
They'll ignore me, that's first off. And second off, it's already known that this will be used to update future cards.
Known by who?
By mods. Everyone's telling it and seeing that what's going to happen from this specific post. The thing, yeah, exactly. The reason is, Ocho, is because at the end of the day, yeah, they may do some illegal shit, but this is just their way of shoving it in everybody's face about what they can do and will do to cards if too many people play them or like them or enjoy them. This is just the start. That's my outlook of it. And again, that's me, not everybody, but this is definitely the beginning of how they're going to start editing cards if people start using them too much or enjoying them too much. Yeah, call me tinfoil hat all you want. I don't mind. Totally fine.
Who is using rock in these streets?
No one's using the rock.
I mean, you're talking about people like them too much. I don't wonder who's using this guy.
Nobody's using this guy. Nobody's using this guy.
I've seen a 5-star bronze version of him.
I got a 5-star bronze version of him. I still don't use him.
I faced that in Showdown 2 Showdowns ago.
I will say, though, that on that same post, it has bug change log, and the rocks change is not listed on the bug changes.
Again, I'm looking at it from a different point of view from most people. My logic is that they're going to use this to change moves on cards that a lot of people enjoy moving forward, and no one's going to be able to do anything about it.
If they change Sako, I'm 100% fine with it. Take that bleed away. Take it all away. Snatch it back.
There is one difference with this card. This card is a free card in the game. Nobody has ever had to pay for Showboat Rock.
Correct.
Facts.
And I'm not arguing that whatsoever. Just like nobody really. Well, I mean, I guess people had to pay for TLO Taker, the $5 in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, the point still stands that that is my concern with this, that they're quote unquote publishing a bug fix update with an improvement of changing a card's move. And I can definitely see that happening in the future for other cards that people are actively using, not just this specific Showboat Rock. That was the reason.
I'm going to post up the full deal so people can see where we were talking about different things. And so, yeah, so they can see the full thing.
Yeah,
this was today or yesterday.
This is like a day or two ago, Envy.
And I get what you're saying. that it can be interpreted that way. Right, but they also said they also call it out as an improvement, and that's where they list. So, I'm not a lawyer though.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, end of the day, they're gonna do whatever they want to do because they always do.
And I know I don't look at a lot of these things the same way a lot of the average person does. I mean, I work in IT, so I'm used to having to read into updates and bug changes and things of that nature to try to figure out what is actually a fix and what's something new. So I may see it differently than some people. So
That's true too. But yeah, that's the thing, Piper. I hope they don't end up using it. But it is what it is. Who knows? That's my quote unquote concern. It doesn't mean that it will happen. It doesn't mean that it is happening. It doesn't mean that it won't. But that's my outlook of it. It is certainly weird, Sam, and that's the reason why I bring it up, because it it doesn't make the card that much better or that much worse, but it's a change.
Well, didn't the move before turn black gems into blue gems, so it like nerfed itself?
Ocho's saying the move before was useless, was a black move that made black into blue, which...
Correct.
Yeah, so it kind of like nerfed itself. This, I find, is better.
Yeah, it may be, like they said, it's an improvement, and it may be a better move overall, but again, it's not enough to make or break anybody using this card.
I mean,
because
maybe
no
new
one
players
really does use it all that
but...
much. But yeah, exactly, Sam. It's a strange change, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. It was uncalled for. It doesn't really exactly. The point is, to me, this wasn't a game changer about people playing Showboat Rock or not. To me, this is just like, hey guys, we're opening this door now that we're looking into changing moves. And it starts with the card that no one gives a shit about. That's my mentality on it.
Can they open the door from the main roster to NXT for Fandango? That's the door I want.
Oh, please.
A lot of us want that door open, Henry. A lot of us want that door open.
And how does Paige not have a British link?
Yeah, I told you they ignore you on Town Hall. You gotta open up a forum thread, and then they'll just ignore that too. But yeah, it is what it is.
So can we do a check-in with Envy to find out if he's found if there's been any new finds during
Envy,
the podcast?
Final check-in from the podcast team. Anything else that you found by any chance? Did you like?
Well, I mean, my two big finds were actually yesterday. So I was doing a little red color clash, and I said, my Walter isn't up. I don't think I can use him. Then I scrolled down and said, wait, he's 9K already. I can break this guy out.
Yep.
Then I checked the strap. I said, I put a strap on him. Oh, I opened up the skill plate spot already too? Okay, I'm going to put that general order plate on him.
Oh, so you already have it on him.
I was in hard mode like halfway through before I even put the plate on him. And it got crazy once I got to that plate on him.
God damn.
There was a question. Were you playing drunk?
No, I'm sober. I don't drink.
Just asking.
Oh, that's a good one, Envy. I like it. Well,
but also one last thing I did find. There are real giveaways on 2Bob's Twitch stream. Bob is a thing. Exclamation point enter. Everybody should get in.
Unless you're from the UK.
Now.
Oh my god.
Hey, I haven't won either.
That's too funny. All right.
Yeah, you've got to specify you can only win from the States.
So far, Vince. So far. I gotta work on it.
I mean, I stayed up for all 20 whatever hours with a nap, like a quick nap in the middle. I stayed up to be on voice for your entire feud stream, and then you're like, oh, if you're in Canada, you can't enter. Like, gee, thanks. Really
I gotta make sure I can order from wherever you're from before I can tell you that I can get it to you.
Bro, just PayPal me.
God. Well, thank you all for coming on out to Roundtable 24. Showdown's gonna kick off, or the league is gonna kick off in about 15 minutes ish, give or take. So I wish you all luck. Enjoy your female craziness. Hopefully
I
you
will.
don't find too many DX Chinas or Lanas out there. And if anybody is chasing Mickie, I wish you the best of luck. And I hope I never see you in feud. Um, that's pretty much that from my end of the pond. But thank you all for coming on out. AJ, thank you. Vin, thank you for showing up as well. Goldie, I appreciate you coming out for your first time. And Envy, thank you for
I'm sure.
making a comeback. I do appreciate it.
Thanks for
They
having me.
would drop 20 million coins into Lana to make a 5-star bronze for feud.
All right.
For
On
Showdown.
on that note, Vin, I'm gonna stop the recording so that we don't have more people listening to you tell people that they should level up Lana, because nobody should level up Lana. Ain't that right, everybody who's still listening to the Roundtable
Shut
podcast?
up.
Don't level Lana